address is overlapping with fast Ethernet 0/0. This will give you the error like this. So here we can not configure IP address from same subnets. We should configure, or we have to configure different subnet over here. Let's say IP address is 20.1.1.1. IP address of this machine is, let's say, 10.1.1.2, and this machine is 20.1.1.2. Right? MAC address of PC1 and PC2 is in front of you. Let's say this interface MAC address is C and this interface MAC address is D. Okay, F0/0C, F0/1D. When 10.1.1.2 will ping 20.1.1.2, guys, what will be the destination MAC address? What I am saying, when PC1 will ping to this PC, what will be the destination MAC address?
Destination MAC will be going to, it's going to first, I think it will check the
I
ARP
think C,
table, sir.
sir.
ARP table, I think.
Okay, if say, let's say in ARP table entry, which entry it will check? Which entry
No,
it
no,
will check in ARP table?
sir. First, it will go to the, because the here the network is different. Then it will first get try to get the MAC address of your router default
And let's
gateway.
say this machine have MAC address
Then the
of
packet,
router.
then it will send the first packet to the router. Then down the
So
responsibility to the
what will
router.
destination IP will be the IP address of router?
Yes, sir. Destination IP is your of router, sir. Destination. No, no. Destination IP will be you're going to be same 220.1.12, sir.
Very
Yeah,
good.
and destination MAC is going to be a MAC of a router.
Exactly. Destination IP will be the IP address of destination remote device, but destination MAC will be the MAC address of default gateway. Let's say because this router is connected with one ISP with internet, and as you know, internet have million of networks. So you are connected with million of network, yes or no over here. So every time when this machine will ping to internet, destination MAC will be always MAC address of default gateway. Or is it possible to resolve the MAC address of Google? No, it is not possible. So that's why here it will look up for the MAC address of the default gateway. What is the MAC address of my default gateway? MAC address of default gateway is C. So every time whenever this PC need to send any traffic to the user who belongs to outside to not their own network, it responsibility of this PC is just to forward a frame to their default gateway. That's it. Right? After that, here on the router will remove the Ethernet header and it will add one new Ethernet header over here. When it will receive the traffic on F0/0, it will check the destination IP address is source, sorry, destination MAC address is my MAC address, it is for me. Let me check layer 3 information. In layer 3 information, destination is what?
Sir, IP or MAC?
MAC.
Sir, destination MAC, it will check their first ARP table, sir.
ARP table. Entry is not there, so it will generate one ARP.
Request.
So it will check the ARP table for which IP address?
20.112.
Very good. Exactly. And source MAC will be the MAC address of exit interface. Right? Means D. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. B.
So whenever router is receiving a traffic, it is checking exactly what destination. It is not learning any address, yes or no, from the packet. But this is the behavior, automatic behavior of switch, that whenever switch receive the frame, first of all it will update their table first, MAC address table first. It will learn source MAC address. If entry is already there, it will update that entry every time. And on the basis of destination MAC address, it will take forwarding decision. That's why we call sometime that switch learn source MAC, switch build their MAC address table on the basis of source MAC address, and switch forward traffic on the basis of destination MAC address. Okay. But when router is receiving a traffic, it is checking the destination IP address first directly. If destination IP address belongs to the same device, it will remove the Ethernet directly. It is going to check the protocol field. Understand like this? Yes or no?
Sir, even though the both the interface belong to the same router, so there is going to be a ARP request and reply
Yes,
between the devices.
here TTL will also decrement by 1. TTL will also decrement by 1 over here. You learn one field in IP header, that is TTL. So when router receive a traffic, it is going to check the destination. If destination is router itself, right? Then nothing will, it will directly remove all header and it will check protocol field and hand over the upper layer protocol traffic.
So
But
each and every interface have their own MAC.
yes,
And is there any specific MAC for a router?
no, all interface will have one MAC address. If you are creating the virtual interface, so router will have virtual MAC address as well. Router run algorithm to create virtual MAC address from the physical MAC address. Okay.
So
Okay.
in case of a switch has also like a if 24 ports are there. So the switch have the 24 MAC addresses or any only single MAC address switch have.
20. Switch will not have the MAC address on the interface. Switch learn MAC address of end devices on the interface.
Okay, switch have their only like every device have some kind of a like a
Switch have one base MAC address. One
okay
base MAC address. One switch have one base MAC address. Two switch have two base MAC address, like that.
because we know that the NIC card contain the MAC address. So if the 24
So
ports
those
are
are
there,
not NIC card.
okay,
Those are
okay,
RJ45 connector, brother.
okay, those are connectors.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Anything else? And apart from this, if packet flow is clear to everyone, tell me, guys. Otherwise, if anyone have problem in packet flow, please let me know, because after packet flow we are going to understand the routing, and routing is completely based on packet flow. Until and unless you will not understand how router process the traffic, you cannot understand how router build routing table. So is packet flow is clear to you? How packet will flow between two computer if both are directly connected, if there are one switch, if there is one router. So basic flow of router, basic flow of switch. In upcoming day we will understand, full working of these two device, router and switch. Don't worry, but this was just an overview that how it's process the traffic or frame. At layer 2 we call data to frame, at layer 3 we call data to packet. So if I am saying packet, that means we are talking about IP, source IP and destination IP itself, till at least source IP and destination IP. If I am saying the frame, that means we are talking about layer 2. Done. Done, guys. Yes, Vishnu. Vishnu, is it clear? Suresh? Hmm? Mohan?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So is it clear to you, everything?
Yes, actually. Yes, sir.
So can you, Mohan, explain packet flow? In ICMP, what will be the type code? Inside the ICMP traffic, what will be the type code? Inside the ICMP request traffic, request message. Yes, Suresh. Sorry, Mohan. My question is very simple. When PC generate one ICMP request, in ICMP request, what will be the type code? How we identify ICMP request message?
Sorry, sir, I cannot explain.
What is the port number of Telnet? Don't know?
23.
Mohan, you don't know?
23 size, early stage, 23.
23. Suresh? Rohit, can you say, brother, what is the type code of ICMP request message? Rohit?
I'm not able to recall, sir, the type code of
And
ICMP.
you know what is opcode of ARP request?
No, sir.
No, and type code of ARP protocol,
No.
type code of ICMP. Means you cannot explain packet flow between two computer, brother. And you know, sometime maybe interviewer can ask you this question. So if you have knowledge of packet flow, you should keep these things in mind. How you can keep these things in mind? Just you need to practice. Just you need to draw some diagram on your notebook. Sometime
Actually,
that
I
packet
think
flow.
there is a need to be study about like a ARP header and ICMP about and us.
This is the packet flow, brother.
Oh, okay, okay.
This is packet flow only. Okay. Now I am going to ask you some very simple question. I have two computer over here, computer 1 and let's say computer 2. We have discussed the basic configuration of router or not? Basic configuration, this folder. Let me show you one more folder to you guys. Here let's say I have one computer. This is the IP address of computer. And let's say between router 1 and router 2 I am using one network 12.1.1.1. Here I am running network 12.1.1.0/24, let's say. Here IP address is 12.1. Here IP address is 12.2. Now can 10.1 ping to 20.1? Here by default I have just configured the IP address everywhere to onto PC and on routers. Let's say this
No,
is
sir.
no. How many of
Yes,
you
sir.
are saying no?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Why not?
Because
Because
both are different networks, sir.
Both are in different network.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So router use which table to forward traffic?
routing table
Routing table.
So how router build routing table?
based on algorithm
Which algorithm?
depend like OSPF, your EGRP, RIP.
We,
But
we have to
it calculate
go the
the
routing.
distance based on the matrices.
No. My question is router use routing table to forward traffic. Let's say this is a routing table of router 1, routing table, and this is routing table of router 2. So my question is how router build routing table first? How it will make entry in their table?
So we have to configure the routings. So the static.
I have just configured the
VPN.
IP address. Is there any entry? Will there any entry by default? I have just configured the IP address on router. Here
No,
It's a
12.1.
so
sir.
physically connected interfaces we can
Sir,
reach
routing
the
table
traffic.
contain only the best path, I think. You know, so I'm not sure about routing table contain physical connected interfaces because it going to comes inside the, I think, database table.
No, no, brother. By default, when we configure the IP address, when you will run command IP address 10.1.1.100 on F0/0, router will make one entry in their routing table that on my fast Ethernet 0/0 a network is connected, whose network ID is 10.1.1.0. Submit mask is /24 like this. So by default, there will be two entry inside the routing table of router 1, one on F0/0 and one is on 0/1.
0/1.
Here a network is connected whose network ID is 12.1.1.0.
12.1.1.0.
In the same way, there will be two entry in the routing table of router 2 also. Note 10, 12 and 20. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now this PC cannot ping, definitely not ping. Now may I know the reason when PC1 will ping to PC2? First, okay, it cannot ping. So traffic will drop at which device? Which device will drop the traffic? When I am pinging this IP address 20.1.1.1 from 10.1.1.1
Traffic will drop at F0/1, sir, in R1.
of router 1, because
Yes.
router will check the destination is 20.1.1.1, and after checking the destination IP address, router look up their routing table to find exit interface, because router need what? Exit interface to forward traffic. Switch need what? Exit interface actually to forward any traffic. So it will find the exit interface in the routing table. In the routing table there is no any entry, so it will generate one error message for computer A. It will inform to computer 1 that your IP address is not reachable from here. Sorry, brother, like that. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So problem is router 1 don't have the root actually. Router 1 don't know about the 20 network. That's why router 1 is dropping the traffic. So now we have two options to make entry in the routing table of router. One, we had discussed that automatically how router make entry in the routing table. The second method, the second way to make one entry inside the routing table of router is a static entry. Manually, network engineer can make entry inside the routing table of router. Manually, I can tell to router 1 that router 1 on your F0/0 one more network is connected. Means whenever you need to forward traffic to 20.1.1.0/24, just you need to forward traffic to from
On
fast Ethernet 0/0. Yes or
yes,
no? I can
0/1, sir.
0/1. Sorry, extremely sorry. 0/1, because this network is reachable from this interface. 20.1.1.0 is reachable from F1/0. So exit interface will be this one. Definitely yes. So this is the second way. This is the, or you can say this is the first way to configure routing. Actually, we have two types of routing, static and dynamic. So in a static, manually we are injecting the route inside the routing table of router manually. And dynamic routing, we just run a process on router. We will run a process on router, and on the basis of that process, router itself going to exchange the routing table. See, by default, if both router have their own network, if both router will exchange their routing table with each other, then we don't need to forward perform routing over here. Yes or no? If router itself will tell to router 1 about 10 network and router 2 will tell to router 1 about 20 network, then we don't need to configure routing. Yes or no? Or we need to configure
Yes.
routing then?
No need, sir.
No needs. So first method is manually static routing. Either we can configure a static routing or we can configure the dynamic routing. In dynamic routing, we will run a process on router, and on the basis of that process, router itself is going to exchange the database or routing table with each other. Done. Here first we are going to understand the static routing. In static routing, manually we have to make one entry, the 0/1 on 0/1 interface there is one network 20.1.1.0, and here also f0/2, it is 2. Okay, connected 10.1.1.0/24. Now can PC1 ping to PC2? Now can PC1 ping to PC2 or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how router will process the traffic? Can anyone explain how router will process the traffic?
Sir, whenever, for example, we are doing a ping, so it will going to generate a ICMP packet, and if there is a like a dash, first it will check, also check that the it is belong to the same network or not. The destination is in the same network. So if it is belong to the different network, then it will check that the MAC of your router is present or not in your ARP table. If there is a no entry, then it will ARP request is generated to get the MAC of your like a router R1. And once the everything is you have in your packet, then it will send the ARP packet to the router 1. Once it reach to the router 1, I mean ICMP once reach to the router 1, now router 1 check the routing table. On the first it will check the destination IP. What is the destination IP?
Okay,
And now, sir, after checking the destination IP, then it will check the routing table. Then it will check the routing table. If
route is available, let's say.
route is available at that interface, if the packet exit from this interface, it will reach the destination. So what it will do, it will add their own MAC address as a on basis of source and the destination of the next router, your next hop.
So how it will find the destination MAC address, next hop MAC address?
uh, if the entry is there in their ARP table,
So
otherwise
router
it
is
will.
also maintain ARP table?
Yes, sir, router maintain ARP table.
Yes. So router also maintain ARP table to store the MAC address of their default gateway. So source MAC will be the MAC address of exit interface, destination will be okay. Then
Then the packet will reach to the router 2, and after router reaching the router 2, router 2 also check their uh, uh, check the destination IP. Okay, the where the destination, then it will check that okay, it is the connected interface, the IP which is it is looking for, it is connected to F00 interface. Then it will what it will do, it will again, it will remove the source previous source destination MAC and the source MAC, and it will add new source and destination MAC, like a source MAC of router 2 and the destination MAC of like a PC2. And your source IP and destination IP during this whole journey is going to same, but only the difference is that your every next hop, your destination MAC and source MAC is going to change.
exactly. Anyone else who want to explain or who have any confusion? Mohan brother, can you explain like this? Vishnu, Sunita,
Sir, in each interface, the source and destination, both MAC address will get changed, or only destination MAC address will get changed, sir?
Source and destination both.
Both will get changed. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
So now our next topic is routing. So can anyone explain what is routing? What do you mean by routing? You are not audible, brother. Your voice is very low.
Sir, it is a process of finding out the best path from all your possible path from the source to destination.
Okay. Anything else? Routing, very simple question.
Routing is the process of finding the best path to the destination.
Finding best path
Yes, sir.
or finding path. Only path.
No, sir, there is a possible, there is a various path available to reach the
Yes, sir.
destination. So we need to find the best path out of
Best path.
all the level paths.
Then in a static routing, how we define how router choose best path?
Eh, it is defined by the administrator. The administrator define that the best path. It will take only that route only.
Okay. Can I define worst path? Bad path?
So if we configure both static and dynamic, no,
Mhm.
on the basis of metric cost, I think static path will choose as the best path.
It
Okay.
will only choose the dead path. In a static, it will only choose dead path which is defined by the administrator. And if the link is going to down, then it will not reach to the destination.
Okay. Can a router store two paths for a single destination?
In static, I am not aware about it. But in like a dynamic protocol, is it possible to send the data from the using the two paths for the same destination?
In
Like
dynamic routing.
uh, in
Yes.
EGRP, it support unequal,
Uh,
and the OSPF support the equal. Send the packet.
EIGRP
for,
support by the way both.
Okay, both.
Okay. Anything else, guys? Routing is very interesting topic. Here we have some protocol like EIGRP, right? And OSPF, BGP. So
RIP.
we will finish EIGRP and OSPF faster, right? We will invest much time to understand BGP, to discuss BGP. If you guys will respond during static route RIP EIGRP, then I will go fast in OSPF. Otherwise, OSPF will also take around 10 to 12 days to cover all
Sir,
filtering.
sir, I have one question, sir.
Hmm.
Can we do the routing no, to same source and destination in either static or sorry, both we can do, sir, static and dynamic routing.
Yes,
We can
both.
enable it.
Yeah, both.
Can we
First,
enable
we are
with
going
the
to
same
discuss the
between?
static method.
No, sir. Between same destination and router, can we enable both
Yes,
static
yes,
routing
yes, we can enable both.
and
We can enable
okay,
both static routing. We can enable multiple dynamic routing as well.
okay, okay,
Okay.
okay, sir, thank you.
Do you know, guys, about AD value? What is AD value, administrative distance value? Can anyone explain AD value?
It will
Uh,
measure to choose the best path.
to choose the best path?
Actually, it is a first criteria to choose the routing table. For example, when on a single router there are multiple protocols are running, like so, it is the first criteria to choose the best the protocol. Like when the on a router, when the multiple protocols are running, then it will give the multiple paths. You have multiple paths to reach the from source to destination. So it is the choose the AD value to choose the which protocol to follow. I think.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes,
So lower AD value is best or higher AD value is best?
Lower AD value will be best.
Okay. Means you are saying that when a router is learning to route from somewhere, then whether from a static or dynamic, from somewhere, whenever router learn a route, it check the AD value first. If I have a route already available in the routing table with list AD value, that means that route is best. So it is nothing but the trustworthy of a network or route. Okay. See here we have this topology. This is PC2. This is, let's say, PC1. Here IP address is, let's say, is 12.1.1.1 /24. Here IP address is 10.1 12.1.1.2. Here IP address is 10.1.1.1. 20.1.1.1. 100. So by default inside the routing table of router 1 there will be two entry. 12.1.1.0/24 is connected on which interface? F0/0. And 10.1.1.0/24 is connected on which interface? Is connected on F1/0.
1/0.
Right, there will be only two entry. And if you want to add one entry manually, syntax will be very simple. Here there will be 12 and 20. Yes or no? 12 is directly connected on 0/0 and 20 is directly connected on this network. Yes. Here we need to add one more network there. For that, command will be very simple. IP route. After that, which network you want to add in the routing table of router? 20.1.1.0. What is the subnet mask of that network? 255.255.255.0. And now we have option. Either we can define what? Exit interface, very simple, F0/0. But there is some problem if you will define exit interface while configuring static routing. We will discuss about that issue just after finishing this discussion. Okay. Here we have one option, that is exit interface. Second option, here we can define next hop IP address. I can tell to router 1 that your next hop IP address for this network is 12.1.1.2. Means router 1 know how to reach 12.1.1.2. 12.1.1.2 is reachable from router number 1. Router 1 can easily forward to 12.1.1.2. So either I can tell the next hop IP address is 12.1.1.2. Means I have one route reachable via 12.1.1.2. And what is the exit interface for 12.1.1.2? Exit interface for 12.1.1.2 is nothing but F0/0. So for this network also, exit interface will become what? F0/0. Because you are defining what? Next hop IP address. So here router will install a route 20.20. 1.1.0/24. Right? It can be either directly connected, when it will store like directly connected on F0/1 or 0/0, when you will configure this route by using exit interface. So it will store like this. When we define the next hop IP address, it will store like this: network is reachable via 12.1.1.2. So third option is what? We can provide same all things, the exit interface as well and next hop IP address as well. We will discuss that why we configure both at the same time. Okay, not now. For now, just understand that here I have configured one route that is on F0/0, so it will store like this. Right here, which network is unknown, guys? On router 2,
10.0.0.
10.1.1.0
Yes, sir.
slash 24
24.
and reachable via
12.1.1.1.
or exit interface will be
F/0.
0 by 0. So let's see. Here on PC, on VPC, how we configure IP address? Simply IP, after that 10.1.1.1, then slash value, then default gateway IP address 10.1.1.1. Okay, on both sides I have configured same IP address. Let's say gateway is 100. So this is how we configure IP address on virtual PC in GNS3. Okay, because you guys also need to perform the practical of routing, so every time multiple time just you need to configure the IP address on VPC, right? And to check the IP address on VPC, you just need to run commands. So here you can see the IP address of this machine is this one and gateway is this one. Okay, before discussing routing, we need to discuss these things, this file. So guys, tell me, we had discussed this file already or not? iOS basic, like what is the command to enter in privilege mode from
No,
user
sir.
mode.
No, sir.
So we have some modes on router, right? User mode, when we are getting the access of router, can anyone tell me how many memory are there inside the router? How many memory we have on the router?
3.
We have four type of memory on router. One is RAM, second one is ROM, third one is NVRAM,
Flash.
and fourth one is
Flash.
flash. So router contain what information inside RAM?
Your current running configuration.
Running configuration, IP configuration, routing table. These are inside the RAM. Yes or no? So if router is building one routing table, that routing table is stored where? Stored in RAM memory. In RAM. Then ROM. What is the use of this memory on router? Hello. It is used to store mini iOS. If your main iOS will corrupted, then router will upload mini iOS from the ROM. Then we have NVRAM. What is NVRAM? What is NVRAM, guys? What is the use of this RAM on router?
It's a non-volatile memory where your actual configuration is saved when you write memory.
What is the problem in RAM then? In RAM we have running configuration.
RAM is a like a volatile memory. After if the when you electricity gone means your all the data will be erased.
Okay. So that's why we need to save the configuration, and when we save the configuration, that is stored in NVRAM. Then what is the use of flash memory? Flash memory store, NVRAM stores save configuration, and flash store main iOS image. Can anyone tell me what is the booting behavior of router? When we power on of router, then how router boot? If you know the booting behavior of router, then if someone have configured the IP address on router, you can easily crack the password. If you know the booting behavior, that how router booted. Actually, when we are turning on the router, we are getting access in user mode. This is nothing but the user mode. In packet tracer, you can check. We will always get access in user mode. Here in GNS3, we are directly getting access in privilege mode.
Privilege.
So before user mode router is booting. So can anyone tell me the booting behavior? See, booting behavior of router depends on the configuration register value. Configuration register value. Configuration register value is nothing but one code which tell us the booting behavior of a router. If you want to check the what is the configuration revision number of my router, let's say here on router number 1, I want to see what is the configuration register value. How I can check? You can run command show version. By running this command, here at the last you can see configuration register number is what?
0x2102.
Yes. And it tell us the booting behavior of router. If configuration register number is this one, 0x2102, let's say this is the by default configuration register value, yes or no? 0x2102. This one is the configuration register value by default,
Yes, sir.
right? So when configuration register value is this one, then booting behavior of router is what? Can anyone?
Sir, it will first read the register value.
Okay. Then
Then it will according to the that behavior. It will you will enter into the I think user mode after that.
so how it will restore the routing table or running configuration? First it is going to check the flash memory. Flash memory. Inside the flash memory it will look for iOS. iOS. If iOS is available there in the flash memory, it will restore the iOS in RAM. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In RAM. After that it is going to check what? Running configuration. Means RAM data. Will there any information inside the RAM?
I think it's load from the NVRAM.
Then it is going to check what? NVRAM. If there is any data available in the NVRAM, it will copy it in RAM. And then you will get access in user mode. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if we configure one password and if I save that password, so where is my password actually? In NVRAM. So I can tell to router that while booting, please don't copy the NVRAM data in RAM. Yes or no? For that just we need to change the configuration register value of router. That's it. If configuration register value is different, then maybe router can only store iOS image from flash to RAM. It is not going to store NVRAM information inside the RAM. So we will get access. Then we can check the NVRAM data by running command show startup configuration, and we can remove the password. Yes or no?
So what if the in case it will not able to read the flash? So
Then it will check the
ROM.
ROM. In the ROM, mini iOS is available. Okay. Okay, guys.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and if you want to see the rest configuration register value as well, so I have, I think, one folder over here.
Sir, under the register, the process is defined that the first you have to go to the iOS, and after that the first read the flash memory, then go to the NVRAM. So process is defined under the your register.
Yes, exactly. Inside the how router will boot, that is defined by the CR number.
What is CR number, sir? What is C?
Sorry.
Okay, 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 okay.
I'm looking for one folder, but I think, say, let's say this is not that folder. This one is how to break password. Here also, I think we had discussed just configuration register value only. So what is configuration register value? It is 16 bits value represented in hexadecimal. It is stored in NVRAM. It tells the booting behavior of router. By default configuration register value is 0x2102. This one. This one. After that, type of configuration register value is 0x2102, 0x 2100, and 0x2142. Then after that we have memory of router like flash, NVRAM, ROM, and booting behavior of this configuration register value 0x2102. You can say it will store the IS from the flash, then NVRAM data. After that it will boot. If booting behave if oh sorry booting behavior of configuration register 0x2142, it will store only flash, sorry, IS from the flash. Booting behavior of this configuration register, it will store what mini IS from the ROM, right? The router itself store the mini IS from the, okay, so same thing is there. So if you want to change the password of router, you need to change configuration register value from this to this, and after changing the password again this to this. Done.
How many registers are there? Like you.
We have multiple, but I also don't know about the rest one. I have knowledge about these four, but we have some more configure register value. Okay.
So register number is stored in the like a 0x, like a you tell the like a NVRAM.
Yes, in hexadecimal.
NVRAM it
NVRAM.
so it will first read the NVRAM.
Yes, router.
Okay.
Router, yes, post process, first post process run na. When you turn on your computer, first of all, you are able to see the green screen, yes or no, for a few
Hmm.
seconds.
Yes, sir.
That is what? That is a code. That is post process. Actually, first devices check their hardware. When we turn on the device, it will perform the post process. It will check the hardware. If all hardware is working fine, then it will move to next step. It will check the configuration register value which is stored in
NVRAM.
NVRAM. If configuration register value is 0x2102, okay, it is going to look up flash memory. Getting my point? Behind scene, there will be lots of things happen, but these are the important things which you need to keep in mind only. Okay, Rohit?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Nirav. Am I right? And Rohit, what about this weekend? Will we connect on this weekend or not? I think we should connect on this weekend, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir,
sir.
we can, sir.
Please cooperate. So this weekend, tomorrow is Saturday. So can we sit around 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock?
Fine, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir, after 7
6
is good.
o'clock is after
6
7
is not.
o'clock.
Yes, sir. Either 7 or after 7 is better.
Okay, let's say 7 o'clock is fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
7 o'clock is fine for everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Fine, sir.
Okay, so 7 o'clock is fine. We'll meet at 7 o'clock. And now we are about to start the routing. First, we are going to discuss static routing, then dynamic routing. Okay, guys. So
Okay, sir.
before routing, please tell me, is basic packet flow or OSI flow? You know, these things is clear or not? OSI flow means application to presentation and presentation to application, how this layer works, how packet flow between devices, how switch process the traffic, how router process the traffic. Yes or no? Here just I was showing you the routing table of router. Okay, so we have some command over here, guys. I will send you this folder also if you guys have not received this one. First, when router boot up, then you get access in user mode. So you will get access of router like this and switch like this. Here you will run enable command. Here, you know, on this mode actually we can run some verification command. We cannot configure router on this mode. Or here are the some description about this mode, that this mode is user mode. It allow you to view the state of router but will not allow you to modify its configuration and not allow to configure anything. So to move from this mode to next mode, command is enable. You will run enable command over here. Then if you give the enable command in the user mode, notice the prompt change and you move to privilege mode. This mode allow administrator to modify some configuration of router and switch, some configuration. Okay, and again move to previous mode, means user mode. You can run disable command as well. Otherwise you will enter in global config mode. And if you give global config mode command in privilege mode, you will move in, configure terminal command in privilege mode, then you will move to config mode, and this mode commonly used for the configuration. Most of the configuration of router, or to go further into other configuration like interface mode, this mode is important. Okay, after that you can run exit command to go in back mode, means in privilege mode, and again exit command to enter in user mode. After that, basic configuration of router, like how to configure host name on router. So if anyone don't know how to configure the host name or these things, you guys can practice from here. Here I have mentioned the command. Like on router we can run command host name. Where is my router? So just I have shared the folder. Here I have mentioned all important or basic required configuration of router and switch. Like here I can configure host name and let's say CCNA. Now you can see name of my device is CCNA. Earlier it was R1 and now it is CCNA, like this. After that, how to configure banner on the router. If you want to configure banner, so you can configure banner like this. Command is very simple. Then save running configuration of router. How to save the configuration? You have two command: copy running configuration to a startup configuration. Now on the router, if you will check, so running configuration, this is what? This is running configuration, means RAM content, yes or no? What is so startup configuration? Startup configuration, this is what? NVRAM data, or I can say delete or erase startup configuration. I'm erasing, I erases, and so startup configuration. Now you can see NVRAM is empty, there is nothing available in NVRAM. Done. So these are memory of router, and then we have like next command, how to configure enable password on router. Guys, if anyone is there who don't know these configuration, please make sure you will practice this multiple time in your simulation software. Enable password banner, enable secret, how to encrypt all password, how to configure password on console port, how to configure the IP address on router, telnet, how to configure the telnet on router. So see the commands. Configure secure SSH on router, see the command. Configure telnet on layer 2 switch, see how to configure telnet on layer 2 switch. Then configure DHCP on router, understand how we configure DHCP on router, and try to configure the DHCP on router and check that PCs are getting IP address from DHCP server or not. Configure DHCP server in LAN network. In packet tracer also you can perform the practical. After that, configure DHCP relay agent on router. So these are the command, and then static routing. So we are going to start static routing in next class, right? But before static routing, you will practice, guys, these all configuration. If anyone have problem, or if you don't have any problem, please try to understand packet flow between two computer more carefully or deeply, so that we can discuss dynamic routing deeply, guys. That is very important for you. Okay, now if anyone have doubt, guys, please ask me. Feel free to ask from the routing, from the basic module, from the packet flow.
Sir, actually, I have installed that EVNG, sir, but I didn't get that images, sir, later on switching.
No, have you shared the request? Can you share me the request again, brother? I have allow you every, I have allow everyone.
Okay, sir, then I'll try.
Please try it. Now you can
Okay,
download it. Okay. Please try to run directly EVNG if you have 8 GB RAM or 16 GB RAM. Okay.
okay, okay, sir.